Tekken 8 has some crazy good looking maps in the game. Looking at how much better the game's maps and graphics has changed in comparison to Tekken 7 is amazing. So I'm going to be going through and ranking every single map with a combination of looks, music, but most importantly, my experience playing that map. So maps that I suck at playing on, and later on in the video, ones that I played games on that have given me severe PTSD, are all getting ranked accordingly. And full disclosure, this is my first Tekken game, and I am a scrub. So do what you want with that information. Let's get into it. So to get us started, we have Seaside Resort, which was the first map that they've added to the game since the launch. This map is beautiful and overall is vibes. A nice beach map with good backdrop and good music. It's a pretty simple map, but sometimes less is more, and I think they did a good job with this one. Not that this is specific to this map, but my slow ass has no clue what to do when I start comboing someone against these slanted walls. Whenever I'm near them, my combos just turn to shit, but I'll rank this map an easy A. Maybe on a bad day a B, but I think this map is pretty good. Next we have Rebel Hangar, and to be honest, there isn't too much that I don't like specifically about this map, but I'm just not a fan of the setting and the music is mid. Whenever I play on this map, if I ever get hit down to the second floor, the chances of me winning the game drastically decreases. I don't know why, but it just happens. Overall, not a big fan. There are for sure better maps. This can go in the C tier. And now we have Arena, the first map you most likely picked when starting this game since it's the first option, but I actually like this map. Not only does it have good music, but I think it fits the game perfectly. A simple small arena with very clean colors, lights, and crowd cheering you on the whole game. Easy A tier. But what the fuck is this? Like, they had Arena and did it so perfectly, and then we're going to this, which, don't get me wrong, isn't the worst, but honestly it's just an Arena clone with some extra walls that explode and allow you to do longer combos. But I can't be the only one that thinks some of the clone maps that they have in this game should just all be in one map, but it's whatever. I probably would like this map more, but since I'm a scrub, I haven't taken the time to learn the proper combos to do off the walls. But whenever someone combos me from using them, then I'm bothered. I obviously could take 5 minutes to learn it in training mode, but who wants to do that? But other than that, everything about the background that was good about the normal arena is just gone here. Just red lights and nothing really going on in the background. Literally just looks like an empty venue. C tier. Urban Square. Another aesthetic I like for these types of fighting games because of the setting and the vibrant colors. And honestly, again, throughout the video, you'll probably see I like relatively simple maps with not a huge amount of stage destruction and transitions. Though I'm not against it, I mean, I'd probably say it's not preferred for me. The soundtrack, on the other hand, for this map though, I love. It's upbeat, which is always gonna be my favorite, and it fits the city map theme perfectly. It even makes me want to get up and beat someone's ass like this Steve did to me. A tier. Now, why the fuck is there another clone map? With Arena, at the very least, the map looks pretty different and functions different with walls being able to explode. But this map literally is just the evening version of Urban Square. Like it literally says in the title. Lucky for this map, I might even like the evening version more compared to the regular map. But the thing that confuses me is we literally have maps in the game already where the map changes after a few rounds, just like Seaside Resort. Like with Seaside Resort, it literally goes from daytime to evening without even needing to change the map. And Urban Square Evening is the exact same thing, but 2 separate maps. But like I said before, I do like this map and it's clearly identical to the original, so I think we can safely put it in the same tier. Moving on to the map Into the Stratosphere, which in my opinion is the worst of the lava maps, but still is alright. Ends up sounding like an Elden Ring boss fight with the soundtrack, which is good if it was Elden Ring, but it's not, and we're on some lava wasteland map, and honestly there's not much I can say that I like about this map at all, especially when we have the other lava map coming up, but we'll get to that later. I like the background stuff being in space. I mean, I think that's pretty cool, but honestly, other than that, I can't say there's much that I like about it. You can extend some of your combos with the lava spots on the ground, but again, nothing that really interests me. C tier. Now, Descent into Subconscious. If you ever pick this map against me intentionally, just be ready for me to alt F4 because I am not playing against your trash ass. The reason I say this is because the only down bad people that would ever pick this trash map are king players. I cannot escape it. It's literally every single time. Whenever I play this map, it's just me slowly being tortured while I'm getting dragged down to the bottom floor. Oh, I click one wrong button and boom, he smashed, and now we are down on a floor. Next, I unfortunately was so god awful at the game that in the 2 milliseconds it took for him to try and grab me, I didn't react and see which one of his arms came out first. Or I didn't realize the grab was untechable while I've been trying to tech it the entire game. And even when I do realize and try and crouch, no, I'm just gonna get my head bashed against his knee. So before I can react to anything, down we go, all the way to the bottom floor. The map itself honestly doesn't look that bad. Honestly, it's pretty interesting, but I'm not even gonna waste my time going through this because this shit's going down to D tier. This just shows that in life, sometimes one type of person can ruin something for everyone. Celebration on the scene? Is that how you say it? Yeah, scene. So for this map, I love the setting. The shape isn't my favorite though, but not the worst, and honestly the music is pretty decent. Looking at this map, I would think it would be one of my favorites, but honestly it's nothing special to me. Though I love playing on a cruise ship, this map isn't one that stands out to me too much, but I still do enjoy most of the games that I play on it. B tier. Now Yakushima, the final destination map of Tekken 8, and it's beautiful. I make sure to specifically pick this map whenever I'm against someone like Brian so I can just ruin their day. I believe this is the biggest map in the game and it's nice. Don't gotta worry about any walls and just straight boxing. Background is pretty good, kind of like a forest theme, which normally I wouldn't like, but I think they made it pretty well with the lighting being good and just more of an open type atmosphere with this map. Music isn't anything too special on this map. Not anything extremely hype like what we're going to end up getting into, but just simple and calm, which honestly fits this map perfectly. And honestly, it's starting to grow on me more. I think this map fits perfectly in A tier. Now Sanctum. This is the type of forest map that I'm not a huge fan of. It's a lot more darker than one like Yakushima and obviously a lot more closer range than it. You're also in some kind of ruins here, which honestly isn't that bad. Also, the music honestly isn't that bad either. It's nothing insane, but it really fits the theme of the map well. One thing I do like about this map though is the stage transition you go through. It's a cave with a bunch of candles and I think it looks pretty sick. So yeah, for sure not the worst. I think it's a solid B tier. Now, we finally have Fallen Destiny. This map for me is insane. We're fighting on what seems to be a volcano with some burning trees in the background, as well as a fucking tornado and a burning ship. There's a lot going on, but what ties this all together for me easily is the soundtrack. I'll easily argue that this is one of the top 3 soundtracks in this game. Not only does it match the map perfectly, but it gives off a final fight type of feel. The lava and the ground is similar to the other lava map Into the Stratosphere, but I like this one more as well because of the shape, background, soundtrack, and no stage destruction. Very nice map in my opinion, and I always have good matches whenever I'm playing on it. Well, most of the time.
Get me out of this game!
I'm putting this map in S tier. Coliseum of Fate. I think it's a pretty nice map. It's another map which is pretty big, which is cool, and has a pretty nice setting. Looks to be like a Roman type Coliseum, like it says in the title. The background I could kind of care less about. It's just people cheering in the stands. Nothing too interesting, but looking down, the gates and stuff do add a pretty nice touch. Soundtrack is alright, fits the map good, but yeah, I think it's a solid map overall. I usually have some decent matches on it, but honestly, that's about it. B tier. So now Secluded Training Ground. This map's kind of cool. It's pretty much like some sort of dojo, and honestly I don't mind this map. Since I'm a bum though and I haven't practiced which moves break through the wall with my characters, I always get slapped up whenever someone has a chance to do it to me. Like, I'll obviously break the wall sometimes, but it's 100% not intentional. I actually think the soundtrack for this map though is pretty above average, which is a good plus. But again, nothing insane, but I think it's a solid B tier map. Or it's Farm. So I'm not a fan of this map and I don't really like the shape too much, but other than that, there's not too much that stands out, except for a couple things, like this flying saucer that is flying around and abducting. That's one of the few things that'd make me easily like this map more though. And yeah, the first wall destruction brings you down to the second floor, which is pretty much just as equal as the top for me. But the final thing that brings this map up a bit for me is the final stage transition, which just brings you to a pretty sick room with a bunch of gold and treasure, which honestly is pretty cool. This part of the map feels extremely small, especially when I'm against some brain dead like Ryan, but still pretty nice. With that, I'm putting it in B tier. Midnight Siege, not much of a fan at all. I don't like the shape, but honestly, other than that, it is not too bad. It's just that nothing piques my interest with this map. Like, it's a destroyed building, and anytime I play against a Brian on this map, I just get cooked, so it makes me not enjoy it. Soundtrack is just alright as well. C tier. And now Elegant Palace. At first, this map wasn't anything special to me, but the more I played on it, the more fun that I ended up having. The music fits the palace theme perfect, and I usually have nice fast-paced games on this map. With how good the soundtrack is, it's for sure leaving it as one of the better ones
throughout the game. And the theme, it just looks crisp. They didn't disappoint at all with the graphics for this game. I don't have many other complaints other than the bottom floor. I think this takes the fantastic theme that we had from above and just turns it mid. But with that, I will still put this map in A tier easily. Now moving on to Genmaji Temple. At the time of making this video, they actually haven't released the map yet, but we get a good amount of information just from the trailers. Judging from strictly what I see in the trailers, I honestly think I like this map a lot. The theme and the colors are really nice with the red trees in the background and the leaves falling. But more importantly, the shape seems to just be a circle, which I honestly like. All that combined with the overall theme of the temple, I think is great, and I can't wait to play it when they release it, and I think my opinion will still stay the same, but I believe it will be an easy A tier. But yeah, overall, even though some maps I may have been harsh on, I think they did a great job. Most of them look really good, and I can tell a lot of time and effort did go into making them. The aesthetic, themes, colors, and just everything in general. I think this is a major update from looking at some of the old Tekken games. Tekken 8 was my first Tekken game, and honestly, I might have gotten into Tekken sooner, but honestly, back then it just didn't look as appealing. But now with Tekken 8, they've done a fantastic job. But other than that, that's my tier list, and let me know about how you feel with some of the maps and where I ranked them in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.